Good evening to you. Today has been a really important one, a solemn day, a day which I fear will cast its shadow for a long time to come. Today, the Bank of England raised interest rates to 3%, the sharpest increase for 30 years. It said we were already in a recession, deeper than expected, which would be very challenging and last for 2 years, the longest since the First World War. The idea is to squeeze down inflation, running at more than 10%. But what's happening now still comes at a huge human cost to businesses of all kinds, to anyone with a mortgage, and more generally across the economy where unemployment is likely to rise quite sharply. So, if ever a financial decision deserved hard cross-examination, it's this one. Some leftish economists blame the Bank of England itself. Professor Richard Murphy argues that since the charts show inflation starting to disappear from next March, no rate rise is required at all. The bank's reckless policy of increasing interest rates, he says, will put millions out of work. Jeremy Hunt, the Chancellor, by contrast, said today that inflation is the enemy, weighing heavily on families, pensioners and businesses. The number one priority was to grip inflation, and the bank was right. Thus, the conventional response to inflation, raise interest rates, and the radical one, don't, it's not that kind of inflation, are dramatically pitched against each other. Now, these kind of intellectual confrontations have happened before, of course, most famously when the great economist John Maynard Keynes took on the consensus, which was helping cause mass unemployment between the two world wars.